What if everything you thought you knew about American history was only half the story? Behind the polished narratives of progress and freedom lies a darker truth, secrets deliberately hidden from the public. From government experiments on unsuspecting citizens to corporate lies that shaped entire industries, the United States has a long history of concealing the truth. Why were these stories buried? And what do they reveal about the forces that shape our world today? This is the story of what they didn't want you to know. Let's start with the U.S. government, an institution often shrouded in secrecy. While some secrets are kept in the name of national security, others cross ethical lines, leaving lasting scars on the public trust. One of the most chilling examples is Project MKUltra. In the 1950s and 60s, the CIA conducted mind control experiments on unwitting citizens. Using drugs like LSD, they attempted to manipulate thoughts, erase memories, and even create programmed assassins. The program was only exposed decades later, thanks to congressional investigations. But how many other experiments remain hidden? Then there's the Tuskegee syphilis experiment. For 40 years, the U.S. Public Health Service studied the progression of syphilis in hundreds of black men, without their consent or knowledge. Even after a cure was discovered, these men were left untreated. The experiment only ended in 1972 after a whistleblower exposed the truth. These are just a few examples of the dark truths buried in the name of progress. But the government isn't the only one hiding secrets. Corporations have also played a major role in hiding the truth from the American public. Take Big Tobacco, for example. For decades, tobacco companies knew that smoking caused cancer, but they actively suppressed the information to protect their profits. It wasn't until the 1990s that whistleblowers and lawsuits forced the truth into the open. But by then, millions had already suffered the consequences. Similarly, ExxonMobil conducted extensive research on climate change in the 1970s. Their own scientists confirmed the dangers of fossil fuels, but instead of acting, the company buried the findings and funded campaigns to deny climate change's existence. These lies didn't just deceive the public, they shaped policies and delayed action on critical issues, proving that corporate greed can have deadly consequences. Even some of the most pivotal moments in U.S. history have darker backstories. Take the Gulf of Tonkin incident, for example. In 1964, the U.S. government claimed that American ships were attacked by North Vietnamese forces, using this as justification to escalate the Vietnam War. But later evidence revealed that the attack may have been exaggerated, or even fabricated. This single event led to a war that cost millions of lives. And it wasn't the only time such tactics were considered. In the early 1960s, the U.S. government drafted Operation Northwoods, a plan to stage terrorist attacks on American soil and blame them on Cuba to justify an invasion. While the plan was never carried out, its existence raises chilling questions about how far those in power are willing to go. Some of the most devastating secrets involve the erasure of entire cultures and communities. The destruction of Native American societies and the suppression of their histories is a dark chapter in American history. But it's not the only one. In 1921, the thriving black community of Greenwood, Tulsa, known as Black Wall Street, was destroyed in a violent race massacre. For decades, this event was omitted from history books, leaving generations unaware of the violence and injustice that took place. These stories remind us that history is often written by the victors, and the truth can be buried for decades. The secrets hidden from the American public reveal a troubling pattern of power, manipulation, and control. But why were these truths buried? Was it to protect national interests, maintain power, or avoid accountability? Whatever the reason, these hidden histories have shaped the world we live in today. They remind us to question the narratives we're told and to seek out the stories that have been silenced. Because the truth, no matter how dark, is always worth uncovering.